wherever you may be in the world. Thank you for joining me for another edition of the Truth Conductor Show. Happy Sunday, everybody. Boy, it was a beautiful day today. I don't know what's the weather like where you are, but let me see what's the temperature now. It's still 75 degrees right here in the nation's capital. So it's been a gorgeous day. Pneumonia weather. A lot of y'all got out here looking cute and gonna mess around and get sick. But here we go. Today in Proverbs. Um, Proverbs is the one book in the Bible that has a chapter for every day of the month. 31 chapters in Proverbs. So if you want to know where to start, just start whatever the day of the date is. That's the chapter you start on. And when there are not 31 days in the month, just keep reading till you catch up. That's how you do that. Okay? And I'll be reading from the New King James Version and the Message Bible to give you a contrast of what's going on. All right? That's how we're going to do that. All right, so let's pray and get into the word. Father, thank you for another day around your word. Speak through my mind, speak through my heart, and speak through my lips with wisdom and understanding that I may precisely articulate this word to pierce the hearing, the vision, and the hearts of your children so that we may live the righteous lifestyle that you have ordained for us to live. Amen. All right? So, since today is the 22nd, we're going to start on the 22nd chapter of Proverbs. All right, verse 1. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, love and favor than silver and gold. Man, your reputation is key. Okay? And how you develop a good name is by how you keep your word. That's how you develop a good name. The way you treat your word. In the Message Bible, it says a sterling reputation is better than striking it rich. A gracious spirit is better than money in the bank. Because people can trust you. You know? They respect you. That's better than money in the bank, man. And I can tell you, my grandmother didn't have she didn't graduate from high school. And she can go anywhere she wanted to. And just on the strength of her signature, and she was a maid, get anything she wanted. Just on the strength of her signature. Because Miss Cora worked for Dr. Merritt. Everybody knew who Dr. Merritt was. Okay? And that's because of her reputation, man. My grandmother's reputation could get her anything she wanted. Anything. Verse 2. The rich and the poor have this in common. The Lord is maker of them all. In the Message Bible, it says the rich and the poor shake hands as equal. God made them both. And look how they got us fighting against each other. What body do you know that don't have a left and right side? If you got a body that's only got one side, it ain't whole. And we got people trying to destroy the other half of the boat like theirs is going to be saved. We all are doomed. And we can't even see it. We going to have to function together. Eventually, if we going to survive this madness, man, we're going to have to come together as a people. Because there's good and bad in everybody. So how come the good people can't come together? That's what confuses me. Verse 3, a prudent man foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. The prudent man sees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. In the Message Bible, it says, a prudent person sees trouble coming and ducks. A simpleton walks in blindly and is clobbered. See, that prudent person is proactive. This simpleton is reactive. Something have to happen to a simple-minded person in order for them to get it. But that prudent person is way out in front of himself, anticipating, looking, okay? That's the prudent person. That prudent person is proactive, which means they are way out in front of themselves, anticipating what's coming. Verse 4, by humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and light. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and light. In the Message Bible, it says, the payoff for meekness and fear of God is plenty and honor and a satisfying life. The payoff for meekness. Matter of fact, let me give you, I do like to give some definitions, and I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, but I don't want to assume. Meekness is defined as strength under control, characterized by gentle, patient, and humble behavior rather than weakness and passivity. Hey, nine. That got to be one of my trolls, boy. that got to be one of my trolls. That's got to be one of my trolls. The first one up in here. Let me check you out. Let me see here. Oh, you've been around since 2016. Man, I'll let you stay. Doggone it, if he was any time. Well, you see, here again, man, what you do is your business. That's what you do is your business. But you shouldn't be trying to put all your business out on social media. Verse 5, thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards his soul will be far from them. And see, you think that little handle you got, can't nobody find out who you are. That's the mistake you're making. You think because you got that handle, can't nobody find out who you are. Hey, Lo, thank you for joining me, but they'll find you. They'll find you. It's some people know how to find out who you are. Trust me. In the Message Bible, it says the perverse travel a dangerous road, pothole and mud slick. If you know what's good for you, stay clear of it. Okay? But the New King James Version say thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards his soul will be far from them. I told y'all, that's one thing about Proverbs. Proverbs is going to show you the consequences of whether you live right or whether you live wrong. They're going to show you the consequences. You're going to see the consequences of a wicked life in Proverbs. You'll see the consequences of a righteous life in Proverbs. And the choice is yours. Which one you want to choose. Okay? And if you can look and see that a wicked life is nothing but destruction, why do you still want to dabble in that? I mean, think about it. If you see a wicked life is nothing but destruction, why do you still want to dabble around with it? That's the question. Verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. But unfortunately, even if they stray, they're going to come back. When you train up a child in the way they should go, even if they stray, they coming back. They're going to come back because it's in them. I was just talking to Jay King. Um, um, Jay King's in the morning out in California. Um, uh, he got a group. It slips my mind right now, but and we were talking about you know parents and children, but listen to this. This is Proverbs chapter 19. I'm going to read verse 18, and this is in the Message Bible. Discipline your child while you still have the chance. Indulging them destroys them. And right now we have too many parents that are indulging their children. They ain't trying to see, it says, train up your child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That's the New King James Version. In the Message Bible, it says, point your kids in the right direction. When they're old, they won't be lost. And unfortunately, we have too many kids right now who are not pointed in the right direction. That's why they're so undisciplined. That's why they're so rowdy, because nobody's taking the time to point them in the right direction. And it says right here, discipline your child while you still have the chance. Because after a certain age, man, if you ain't got no discipline in him, you late. You ain't going to get it. Okay? What's going on, Howard? Thank you for joining me. You ain't going to get it. And this is the problem. You know, how is your child going to tell you who they are? 6, 7, 8 years old. Ain't going to tell you who they are. You better go sit your ass down somewhere. What you better do. How you going to tell me who you are? You ain't doing that. That's just like Dwayne Wade. And any fool can see that he let his children do what they want to do to get after the mama. He's getting back after that mother by not being a father. And how your child gonna tell you it's a boy, he's a girl? Man, you better go sit your ass down somewhere. That's what you need to do. Okay? Verse 7. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. In the Message Bible, it says the poor are always ruled over by the rich. So don't borrow and put yourself under their power. But some people make that mistake, man. Go and get in a whole bunch of debt, and it's overwhelming. And then they end up forfeiting on the debt that they owe. They end up my credit union, they got a thing now where what they call it, uh, pay advantage, where they'll give you a list of purchases that you've made, and you could get that money instantly back in your account, but you have to pay it every 3 months or every 6 months. You have to make a payment. I did that one time, and I said I'll never do it again because I wanted to see how it worked. And that one time I did it, I said I'll never do it again. Okay? All right? The borrower is servant to the lender. And sometimes these lenders don't have no mercy, man. Verse 8, he who sows iniquity will reap sorrow, and the rod of his anger will fail. He who sows iniquity will reap sorrow. Let me give you the definition of iniquity. Iniquity, gross injustice, severe immorality, or wicked acts. Gross injustice, severe immorality, or wicked acts is iniquity. He who sows iniquity will reap sorrow, and the rod of his anger will fail. You see any of that in our government today in America? Of gross injustice, severe immorality, or wicked acts? Do you see that in our government today? And that tells you the people that are doing this, the rod of their anger is going to fail them. It's going to fail. The rod of your anger going to fail you. In the Message Bible, it says, whoever sows sin reaps weed, and bullying anger sputters into nothing. Ooh, low. Man, thank you again. You the first one up in here again today. Man, thank you for that blessing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And may there be many more after you. Thank you so very much. Okay? No, seriously, man. Seriously, he who sows injustice, immorality, wickedness, eventually the rod of their anger gonna fail them. And you can look in our government today and see some people that are sowing iniquity, and the rod of their anger is gonna fail them. You just watch. Okay? Verse 9. He who has a generous eye will be blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor. He who has a generous eye will be blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor. In the Message Bible, it says, generous hands are blessed hands because they give bread to the poor. And see, and let me say this, because see, the mistake a lot of y'all make, y'all fall for sob stories. You're too easy to fall for a sob story. See, you don't test their heart. And I told you, man, when somebody walk up on me, got $1? Give me $1. Not that I need the dollar. I'm just trying to locate their hearts. Because you got a lot of people who are out there just for themselves. That's all. It's just a win situation for them. All they want is just to take. Okay? They ain't giving. And sometimes you need to test some of these people to see if they're willing, out of the little bit that they have, are they willing to share it? And if they're not willing to share out of the little bit that they do have, why are you giving them money? Let me ask that question again. If you find a person that's not willing to share out of the little bit that he has, why are you giving him money? Because that's a selfish person. You done located their hearts. Why? That's like putting money into a bag with holes. Ain't gonna do no good. But if they say, I ain't got $1, but I'll give you what I got, man, I'll bless them. I'll bless them. Because they're not showing selfishness. And that's something some of y'all need to start doing. Verse 10. Cast out the scoffer, and contentions will leave. Yes, strife and reproach will cease. Let me give you the definition of scoffer. Scoffer. What I do here? Scoffer. A person who mocks, ridicule, or express derision and contempt for someone or something, often regarding religious or moral value. Okay? Hey, Mitch, Bahamas is in the house. Man, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Okay? A scoffer, a person who mocks, ridicules, or expresses derision and contempt for someone or something, often regarding religious or moral values. And it says, cast out the scoffer. That's somebody with a lot of drama. They got a lot of drama with them, a lot of chaos and confusion. That's a scoffer. Cast out the scoffer, and contentions will leave. Yes, strife and reproach will cease. In the Message Bible, it says, kick out the troublemakers and things will quiet down. You need a break from bickering and griping. You need a break. And some of y'all be entertaining that foolishness. And that is the problem, because you won't check them. You won't say, man, I ain't interested in that. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. Y'all, we getting ready. I'm telling you, I don't know if y'all paying attention to these stars, but boy, it's some real dynamic alignments that are coming, that are happening. And the Bible say, as above, so below. Things are changing, y'all. Things are changing. People are going, you're going to start seeing people changing. All of this bitterness, this fighting, this backbiting, this revenge and getting even, man, that stuff it's on the way out. It is on the way out. And anybody that's indulging in that going to be destroyed. You just watch. Verse 11. He who loves purity of heart and has grace on his lip, the king will be his friend. He who has purity of heart and has grace on his lips, the king will be his friend. In the Message Bible, it says, God loves the pure-hearted and well-spoken. Good leaders also delight in their friendship. Because you ain't about no whole bunch of drama. See, when you're pure-hearted, you ain't got no, you can be trusted. You got integrity. When your heart is pure, you're a person of integrity. And right now, we got so many people that will say one thing and do something totally. You got to figure out, read between the lines of what they trying to say. But man, when you're a person of integrity, you're going to say what you mean and mean what you say. It's just that simple. You're going to say what you mean and mean what you say. Ain't no lie in that. Verse 12. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but he overthrows the word of the faithless. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but he overthrows the words of the faithless. In the Message Bible, it says, God guards knowledge with a passion, but he'll have nothing to do with deception. God ain't gonna bless your lies. Let me say that again. God ain't gonna bless your lies. You might can fool man with your lie. See, a lie will get you in the door, but it can't keep you there. Let me say that again. A lie will get you in the door, but it can't keep you in there. Because eventually the truth is gonna come out. Verse 13. The lazy man says, there's a lion outside. I shall be slain in the streets. That's a person that'll come up with any kind of excuse not to do something. The lazy man says, there's a lion outside. I shall be slain in the streets. They'll come up with all kind of excuses. That lazy person, in the Message Bible, it says, the loafer says, there's a lion on the loose. If I go out, I'll be eaten alive. They'll make up all kind of excuses not to go out and be productive. That's a lazy person. Okay? They'll make up all kinds of excuses not to do something. But lay there in that bed. That's where they joy at, is in that bed. Verse 14. The mouth of an immoral woman is a deep pit. He who is abhorred by the Lord will fall there. So I'm going to give you two definitions. Let me give you the definition of immoral. Hold on. Immoral describes behavior that deliberately violates acceptable principles of what is right and wrong. They deliberately violate the principles of what is right and what is wrong. Okay, abhorred. Hold on. Abhorred. To be regarded with extreme disgust. And God don't like liars. God, the mouth of an immoral woman is a deep pit. He who is hated by the Lord will fall there. See, he who is hated by the Lord will fall there. Well, the Lord ain't gonna hate no righteous person, because they doing what he say do. It's that wicked person that God is gonna hate, that God ain't coming back to destroy the righteous. He's coming back to destroy the wicked. That's who he coming back for. And only you can determine where you at. Verse 14 say, the mouth of the whore is a bottomless pit. You'll fall in that pit if you're on the outs with God. you'll fall in it. You'll give in to that temptation. And see, and that's the difference between a righteous person and a wicked person, man. That righteous man, he can withstand. God gonna give him an out from that temptation, even when somebody try to set him up. Gonna give them an out. Uh, when say I'm falling in that pit. Well, you must be a good person because it didn't destroy you. Okay, you must be a so for some reason God gave you another chance. That's how you got to look at that, man. You got another chance. Verse 15. Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of correction will drive it far from him. See? If you don't want to correct your child when they small, when they little, when they young, foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. The rod of correction will drive it far from him. It's gonna stay there. Because when they get old, see that undisciplined nature is gonna turn on you. And right now, we got a whole lot of children, man, that'll cuss their parents out. Cuss them out. Ain't got no respect for them. Why? Because the parents didn't use that rod of correction on them. In the Message Bible, it says young people are prone to foolishness and fads. The cure comes through tough-minded discipline. And that's what most kids aren't used to, man. Man, in fact, today, shit, you can go to jail for disciplining your child. Your child can call the police and have you locked up for disciplining them. And this is the problem. We took prayer out of school and we took discipline out of the home. That's why this generation is so screwed up. This is why they screwed up. Because we took prayer out of school and we took discipline out of the home. And look what you get. Look at what you get. Shoot, I got 18 people up in here. I bet you if you see a bunch of young folk, especially if they black, walking down the street, coming towards you, man, your butthole would get tighter than a dime. It would get tight. I mean, you would, and you can't cross the street. Shit, you'd be panicking until you get past them or they get past you. Cause you know you ain't safe. Cause they ain't got no discipline. You see it all the time. And unfortunately, see, the bad kids are the ones that give the good kids a bad reputation. See, them kids that's doing the right thing, going to school, honor roll students, can't get the time of day. But that joker walking around with his pants down around his ass, thank you, and doing all that other stuff, uh, they getting all the attention. But the kids doing the right way can't get no attention. Uh, in the Message Bible, it says, I read that. Verse 16. He who oppresses the poor to increase his riches, and he who gives to the rich will surely come to poverty. That's a wealth transfer. And it's going to be a wealth transfer before Jesus come back. In the Message Bible, it says, exploit the poor or glad hand the rich, whichever. You'll end up poorer for it. And right now, most folk give the benefit of the doubt to the rich. And let me see what we say. We stand in the way that we are the light, and God keeps our way. Uh, all right. Um, and this is because in America, man, you got money, you can be above the law. That's why people are so upset over these e-files, because you got all of these rich people that has and it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. The truth is gonna come out. I don't care how much they trying to hide it, man. That truth is coming out. It's coming out. It's just a matter of time. And ain't nobody gonna get away with nothing. Cause even if you might not get it on, somebody on your bloodline gonna get it. You may not, but somebody is on your bloodline gonna get it. I guarantee you. Yeah, those are rich in material, are poor in spirit. You're absolutely right. They are. They are. But everybody want to be rich. Everybody want to, be debt free, to live the kind of lifestyle they want to live. But Lowe said, not always. Shoot, hey, you trying to tell me if somebody drop each are responsible for our own actions. We are supposed to be responsible, but accountability sometimes is what a lot of people don't want to accept. Okay, all right, they don't want to accept. All right, verse 17. Um, Incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to know my knowledge. In the Message Bible, it says, listen carefully to my wisdom. Take to heart what I can teach you. And see, and when uh, um, uh, Lynn say, if you follow Christ, we must be teachable. But see, a lot of people use the name of Jesus to get you just to drop your guard. You got Christians right now in the body of Christ who are afraid to speak to each other. You got people who call themselves Christians right now who are afraid to speak to each other, and they believe in the same Jesus. They want you to follow their Jesus, but they scared to to speak to each other. Okay? Verse 18. For it's a pleasant thing if you keep them within you. Let them all be fixed upon your lips. In the Message Bible, it says, you'll treasure the sweetness deep within. You'll give it bold expression in your speech. Okay? And all you got to do, man, is listen to a person talk, and you'll tell who they are. You ain't got to ask them, because people all the time, when I was down at the White House, they, I'm playing music and stuff, and they see my sign, and they'll come up, you believe in Jesus? And I look at them point blank. How you gonna know I'm telling you the truth? I can tell you anything. And see, and right now we got too many Christians who are calling themselves Christians, telling people just what they want to hear, and getting behind closed doors and living a totally different life, out of sight. And this is the problem. We got too many people out of sight that are living wicked lives, but when they, that's itchy ears. Absolutely. When you tell people, a lot of Christians right now are just being told, man, look at that country over there in the Bible, who they thought who they thought the prime minister was dead. He just said that evil will overcome good. And Genghis Khan was greater than Jesus. And look how many Christians are talking about supporting them. And they're showing you their true spirit when they tell you evil will overcome good. Why are you backing them? Why are you supporting them? If he can come out and say evil is going to overcome good. Yeah, New York. I'm see, I'm learning when I have to use some examples because they will they will restrict your stuff, buddy. They'll censor you quick and fast. I ain't lying. So I try to get around that censorship. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get around that censorship. Okay? They lost, man. They are lost. But look how many Christians that are supporting them. Look how many so-called Christians that are supporting them. And they showing you who they are. Anybody that can tell you evil will overcome good, man, they've got a wicked heart. They're wicked. They're wicked. And you supporting them, that shows you who you are. Verse 19. So that your trust may be in the Lord, I have instructed you today, even you. I'm going to keep reading these all the way down to 21. Have I not written to you excellent things of counsel and knowledge, that I may make you know the certainty of the words of truth, that you may answer words of truth to those who send you? And this is what we are missing, man. So in the Message Bible, it says to make sure your foundation is trust in God. I'm laying it all right now just for you. I'm giving you the 30 sterling principles, tested guidelines to live by. Believe me, these are truths that work, and will keep you accountable to those who sent you. And right now, most people do not want to be held. Thank you, Lo. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much. The one thing most folk don't want to do is be held accountable. Verse 22. I'm almost finished, y'all. Verse 22. Do not rob the poor because he is poor, nor oppress the afflicted at the gate. For the Lord will plead their cause and plunder the soul of those who plunder them. In the Message Bible, it says, do not walk on the poor just because they're poor, and don't use your position to crush the weak, because God will come to their defense. The life you took, he'll take from you and give it back to them. Listen. See, this is all about a lifestyle. And if you go back and look at all of the different Bibles that you have in the world, they all got the same similarities. They got similarities, which means we're talking about a lifestyle. That's what we're talking about. How you living? Okay? And seeing you got a lot of these people out here talking Jesus and man, but they living wicked. They ain't living right. This is why a lot of people can't manifest the desires that they want in their heart. Okay? All right? Verse 24. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man, do not go. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man, Do not go. In least you learn his ways and set a snare to your soul. Listen to this, y'all. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man do not go. Least you learn his ways and set a snare to your soul. In the Message Bible, it says, don't hang out with angry people. Don't keep company with hotheads. Bad temper is contagious. Don't get infected. Because eventually, you're going to take on the habits of the people that you hang around. I don't care who you are. Eventually, okay? Let's say I live as God speaks. Sabbath is a state of mind. Oh, really? If Sabbath is a state of mind, how come your calendar goes from Sunday to Saturday? If that's a state of mind. See, that's the kind of stuff that you have to watch. Matter of fact, let me see who this is. Let me see who you are. Let me let me see who you are. Hold on here. Let me look at you. Got to look at you. State of being. Okay. Let me look at you. Let me take a look at you. Okay, you can go live, man. You got 1,000 subscribers. Okay. Join 2016. All right. Yeah, you can go live. All right. All right. Um so here we go. Verse 26. Do not be one of those who shake hands in a pledge, one of those who is surety for debts. That's co-signing. This right here is telling you, do not be one of those who shake hands in a pledge, one of those who is surety for debts. This is telling you you don't co-sign for nobody. I don't care who it is. This is what it's saying in the message. Okay, let me read the next. If you have nothing with which to pay, why should they take away your bed from under you? Because you're responsible for somebody else's debt. Lynn say, I have no debt. Oh, you good. Send me some money. If you ain't got no debt, you got some money. Hit my Venmo up. Oh, you own what you have. Okay. Here's what it's saying in the Message Bible. Don't gamble on the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Hawking your house against a lucky chance. The time will come when you have to pay up. You'll be left with nothing but the shirt on your back. You don't take on nobody else's responsibility. I don't care how much you love them. You don't take on their responsibility. Because the bottom line is, eventually, you're the one that's going to end up getting stuck with it. Verse 28. Do not remove the ancient landmark which your fathers have set. In the Message Bible, it says, don't stealthily move back the boundary lines staked out long ago by your ancestors. That's cheating. This is what it's trying to tell you. Man, don't be a cheater. Don't take advantage of nobody. Because ain't no good going to come out of it for you. When you start cheating somebody, yeah, you'll enjoy the but in the long run, the short term, of that. But in the long run, buddy, you're gonna end up losing everything. Cause you got it by deceit. And you ain't gonna keep it, and God ain't gonna bless it. Verse 29. Do you see a man who excels in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before unknown men. The Message Bible says, observe people who are good at their work. Skilled workers are always in demand and admired. They don't take a back seat to anyone. And that's doing what you do with a level of excellence. You can't, this ain't a sloppy person. When they say you see a man who excels in his work, he ain't sloppy. He goes over, or she goes, they go over and above what they're supposed to be doing. And right now, you got people only do what they say. I don't get paid for that. Okay, I don't get paid for that. That's what they'll tell you. Oh, they don't pay me for that. And they sloppy and can't be trusted. But see, here's the secret, ladies and gentlemen. When you excel in your work, you make other people lazy, and they'll become dependent upon you. See, when you excel in your work, you're going to make somebody lazy because they now know they can depend on you. Okay? All right? I think I got a troll up in here. And that was the end of uh, uh, Proverbs. Yeah, that was the end. That's the end, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions? If you got some questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Uh, Anybody got any questions? Got any questions? Got any questions for me? I'll be happy to try to answer them for you. Okay, if you got some questions, please, I will be happy to try to answer them for you. Okay, if not, then hey man, I do this every night. I do this. I was one of my biggest supporter this month, Bernie. Um, I used to do Saturday in Proverbs, and he asked me, could I start it back? And Spirit of God say, I just cover Proverbs. I just do Proverbs. Proverbs is the one book in the Bible that has a chapter for every day of the month, 31 chapters in Proverbs. And if you want to know where to start, just start on the date of the month. Okay? When they're not 31 days, just keep reading until you catch up. So that's what I do. Okay? I just go through Proverbs. All right. Sometimes I reference some other scriptures, but the main focus is because Proverbs is going to show you how to live today. You ain't got to wonder back 2,000 years of what they talking about. And it was written by King Solomon, the wisest man ever, and no man will be as wise. Okay? All right? So that's why I do Proverbs. Because there's it shows people how to live. And that's what a lot of people, because we getting ready to go through some hard times, man. A lot of people don't believe that. But it's some hard times on the way. And you're gonna have to know how to navigate these hard times. And if you're living right, you got a place of refuge. If you're living wrong, you ain't got no shelter. Okay? You ain't got no shelter. And I'm just trying to show people how to get some shelter. So when things go bad, man, you got a place to go. And a lot of folk, they talking God, but they ain't living God. And that's the problem. We got too many Christians out here talking God, but they ain't living God. Okay? You're welcome. That's the problem. Too many people talking God, but they ain't living God. And that's why they can't get the results that they're looking for, because they're not living God. That ain't saying you perfect. Man, when you live a righteous lifestyle, you're not perfect, but you're not harmful. You ain't gonna take advantage of nobody. You ain't gonna cheat nobody. You ain't gonna steal from nobody when you live a righteous lifestyle. And that's what we need to get back to, man, is having some compassion for each other, some understanding, some caring for each other. We missing that dearly. And I told y'all, listen, let me read this to you so you can. It ain't me saying this, and the next time you hear somebody talking about them liberals, them Democrats, them Republicans, listen to this. This is Proverbs chapter 6. I'm gonna read 16 through 19. There are 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. When something is abomination to God, it disgusts him. He don't like it when it's an abomination. Okay? A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that are swift and run into evil, a false witness who speak lies, and one who sows discord among brethren. And you got people right now that's calling themselves Christians, and they're sowing discord among people. That's an abomination to God. It's an abomination to God. And a lot of y'all are following some of these very same people that's sowing discord among people. And it's an abomination. Okay? It's just that simple. And we're gonna have to stop. See, most people are afraid to call this kind of stuff out because they want to be politically correct. They ain't trying to offend nobody. But man, when you walking in truth, you ain't worried about offending nobody. You're not worried about that. You gonna speak your truth. That's what you gonna do. Okay? It's just that simple. So it's I just want to need a heart family. Um, see, listen. Let me see who you are. Let me see who you are. Jane Anderson. Let me see. Let me see, Jane. Let me go to your channel. I'm gonna get you out of here because you just did this profile. You troll. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. Let me get you out of here because you troll. You a troll. You definitely a troll. You get out of here. See, ladies and gentlemen, listen, listen. There's good and bad in everybody. There's good black folk. There's bad black folk. Good white people, bad white people. Good Asian folk, bad Asian folk. Good Latino people, bad Latino people. Okay? Well, how come the good people can't come together? If we could just get good people of all races to come together, we could stop this madness out overnight. But good people are afraid of other good people. That's the problem right now. Good people are afraid of other good people. If we can just get good people to start talking and connecting with, it ain't about race. God ain't coming, he's coming back for the righteous. That's good people that he's coming back for. He ain't coming back for no color. He's coming back for the righteous. Because we all bleed the same blood. But look how divided we are. And we all bleed the same blood. But look how divided we are. Okay? And that's the problem. See, we're going to have to tackle this division. That's why I got this sign. Stop hating each other because you disagree. God gave me that message in 2020. Was when I started that. 2020. I've been out here 6 years with that message. And I get people every day, thumbs man, I agree with your message. And I look at the donation bucket and scared to put $1 in it. I actually had somebody come up and say, if I give you $1, what you gonna do with it? So maybe something else positive if you give me a chance. But see, right now, see, good people don't want to give another good person a chance. And they agree with the message. They agree with it. Okay? They agree with it. Because somewhere we've gotten hate and disagreement to mean the same, and they don't. They don't. When you hate somebody, you don't want to have nothing to do with that person. But when you disagree, you just don't see eye to eye on that situation or subject. The two words are not the same. And we're not putting that conversation on the table. And we need to. All right? And that's my mission. All right? Thank you, New York. I appreciate it. That's my mission. So I just, hey man, if you'll notice when I started this, but nobody up in here. I'm gonna pray and I'm gonna get into it. Just like if ain't nobody here, so I'm gonna get some replay viewers. But see, you know, if you can just help one person, you don't know who they know. If you can just help one person, you don't know who you helping because you don't know who they know. Or should I say, who knows them? See, that's the game. It ain't who you know that matters, it's who knows you. That's what make the world go round. Who knows you? And based on who knows you, you can get a lot of stuff done. But one thing is for certain, if you live in a righteous lifestyle, man, you'll have a sterling reputation. If you're a person of integrity, you will have a sterling reputation. Okay? All right? You will have a sterling reputation if you're a person of your word. Whoa, New York, man, that's the first time you ever gave me some money, man. Boy, look, see how God works. That first time, man, it's our first time, brother. Let me, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And see, and whether people, man, listen to me, y'all. I've been doing this for a minute. And I can tell you, boy, when you trust God, all you got to do is trust God. When you trust God, you don't know where it's coming from, but you know it's coming. When you trust God. And that's all I do. Even when this guy took my sign, he took, the 24th will be a month ago that he took this sign and I ain't missed a beat. And that was how I was getting my money every day, because nobody was interested in Black History tours. So I took my tours down. And I said, this is a universal message. Man, let me just focus on this, because I've never, in my 73 years, I've never created something that was universal, that will fit anywhere in the world in any language. This is my first universal message right here. Stop hating each other because you disagree. And I found out it was universal by being down in front of the White House playing the national anthems of other countries, and people would come over and say, we got the same problem. We got the same problem. Okay? All right? I thank you. So I just, man, I just trust, and my truthconductor.com coming soon. It's gonna be up this month. It's going to be up before the month over. Truthconductor.com. It's going to be up before this month is over. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So now I got somewhere. See, with this sign, I just got Truth Conductor on it. But I'm going to order me some new signs. When my website get ready, I'll have me some new signs that say truthconductor.com. Now when people look at it, I got somewhere to send them. And this sign is known all over the world. Sitting down there in front of that White House playing the national anthems of other countries, because what I figured out was when I started playing their national anthem, they pick up their phone and they start recording. And they, whatever country they in, that's where they sending it back to. That sign is known all over the world. I'm telling you. And you just wait. Soon as I get whoever sponsored this message, gonna make a ton of money. Whoever is the sponsor of this message is going to make a ton of money. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Because it's already spread all over the world right now. It's all over the world. And it's just a matter of time, and it's coming. It's coming, and I know it's coming. And I know that's my purpose. And I ain't giving up on it. And I ain't quitting, and I ain't throwing the hat in. I'm going down with the ship on this one. And I mean that. I'm going down with the ship. I ain't throwing that in, buddy. Because I know it's valuable. And see, when you don't know the value of what you're working with, you'll take it for granted. When you don't know the value, when you don't know the value of yourself, you'll take yourself for granted. You got to know what you're working with. Okay? All right? All right, y'all. So listen, 8 o'clock every night. I'll be back tomorrow, 8 o'clock. If I ever long what God want me to do this, man, I'll just keep doing it. Every night. I'm going to keep doing it. Every night. Okay? 8 o'clock. So I see y'all tomorrow.